Give me the argument, the best argument you know, for the power of cinema.
Welcome everybody to Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian.
My name is Ivan.
And welcome again. I just had to say it. Well, so good that you have to say it twice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
How's it going?
Going good.
Good. I just woke up from a nap. Can you tell?
No.
You know that nap face where like one side of the face is sort of compressed?
Yeah, like.
Do I got that?
Couldn't tell.
That's called beauty.
Okay, I could tell.
Thank you. I hope everyone's doing good. It's April 14th, 2021. Can't believe it's 2021. How time flies. Just to give you a little context about the cultural landscape right now. Who's that fellow, rest in peace, that got murdered? Actually, rest in peace, DMX. We'll talk about that later. Rest in peace, DMX. That's the cultural landscape we're in right now. DMX passed away after a drug overdose. Long battle with drugs. We'll talk about his influence later. Ivan, who's that fellow that passed away? Another fellow was killed in Minnesota, right? And there's things going on regarding police and the black community.
I should know, but I don't, because it happens so often, which is worse.
There it is, people. That's what you need to know right now. It's a tumultuous time, as always, but we're gonna get through it with movies, Ivan.
That's so. I don't know if that's disrespectful or
Okay,
just not right.
Yeah, that wasn't right. But we're not gonna get through it with movies, but we're gonna bring you what we do best in this trying time.
There you go.
Okay.
I think since I called it out, it's good. But if I was just like, yeah, then it would be like, oh, these guys are kind of white people, aren't they?
Yeah, they're kind of white, huh? It is weird, those kind of situations where, since we're public figures now, we're personalities.
Yeah.
We have to be careful.
We have a net worth.
We have a net worth of something.
Yeah.
We're not gonna disclose that.
Obviously.
We're not gonna give you our Coinvoice data. Sorry. Coinvoice is on my mind right now.
That's another topic.
It went public, people. Invest.
You're gonna make a tank.
Hey, you guys, invest in Coinbase, okay? Get my stock up. I'm not a financial advisor. Anyways, tangent time, but like we said, our names are not the same, but his name's Ivan, and my name's Adrian, and this is Peliculas with the Bros, a podcast where we talk about movies, Ivan.
Yes.
We talk about movies that we like, movies that we love, movies that we're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And currently we're doing a filmography run of the great Mel Brooks miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
We've done many of his past movies up until the point of what's this movie called? I'm blanking.
History of Earth.
History of the World Part 1. So we've done his previous movies, and today we are doing History of the World Part 1, directed by Mel Brooks. Ivan, this movie came out in 1981. Let me go down the top 10 movies of that year in regards to box office gross. Number 10, Time Bandits. If you've been listening to the last podcast, we've been complaining about the simplicity of film names before the year 1980.
Correct.
Movies like Building, Paint, Dry, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We finally have two words in one title. Time
Upgrade.
Bandits. Upgrade. Yep. Number 9, The Four Seasons.
It's a hotel.
It's a hotel and it's a movie now. There's this whole thing about like Gary Vee. You've heard of him, right?
Sadly.
He's like, every top brand should be like in the content business. So he's like, Coca-Cola should make a movie.
Okay.
And that's where you see things like Ugly Dolls, the movie, you know that Ugly Dolls is like a toy, then they made a movie. It's like a worthless movie. But if Coca-Cola does it right, they'll have a good movie, given that they make a lot of money.
It would make me feel like I'm being
Used.
sold and used.
You would be sold and you'd be used, but if they do it the right way.
I guess, but
What about like what if they make like a Back to the Future-esque movie where like the MacGuffin is a Coca-Cola can?
we'll like search for the Coca-Cola.
Something like that, but the movie is they can make a top tier quality movie like that. Just the only one thing is like the MacGuffin is a
Yeah.
Coca-Cola thing. That's how they can do it.
Still, I would have a gross taste in my mouth.
Yeah. Not until you find like if you never know that they made it. What if like the year later, like, yeah, we actually produced that movie.
I
Would-
mean, I would know, like,
Okay, yeah.
because
Because advertising, right?
yeah,
It's like, oh, they at least paid something.
like if it's there and I know it's a brand, then
Yes.
they paid for it to be there.
Most likely. Okay. That's sorry, the tangent, the Four Seasons, what they're probably like, oh, let's make a movie. We have a hotel, let's make a movie. Might as well, right?
Disgusting.
Number 8, For Your Eyes Only. I'm interested. Number 7, Chariots of Fire. Number 6, The Cannonball Run. And number 5, here we go, top 5, Stripes. Ivan, you've heard of the movie Stripes, right?
Just the name.
It's a comedy. I think it's with Bill Murray. I think it's like one of those classics.
Okay.
Number 4, Arthur. That movie, I think it's like a comedy classic too, but sorry guys. We're not film buffs to that level yet.
Not yet.
Number 3, Superman 2.
Whoa.
108 million.
The beginning. It's like the first little glimmer of the superhero
Yeah.
saga of that we're in right now.
In 1981.
Take a while.
It took a while, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you would think by like the 1990s, like, oh, let's ramp it up. But they didn't really try until like maybe technology, they're waiting for
I
something.
think technology, and they had to figure out how to adapt it.
Uh-huh.
And they finally figured it out. Well, Marvel did at least.
DC.
Don't get me started.
DC, I wish one of your execs would ring on my doorbell right now. Go downstairs. Hey, how you doing? Hi, my name's Jim Schmo. That's probably his name, right?
Jim.
Come on in, Jim
Warner.
Schmo.
Jim Warner.
Jim Warner. Come on, Jim Warner. He comes upstairs. We're doing a podcast. Do me a favor. Lay right there. He lays right there. Do me a favor. Open your mouth.
And we pee.
No.
Oh.
He opens his mouth. I pull down my pants. I fart right in his mouth.
Why you
As
put your pants down for that? You want like
no, because I'm
source?
gonna try really hard to fart,
Uh-huh.
and if poop comes out,
Like-
then it's added.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
And if it doesn't, at least he gets a fart.
Yeah.
Open air, no fabric.
Yeah.
That's what we want for DC.
It's like not even criticism, just like you just want to fart in someone's face.
Sorry, guys. That's cringeworthy. Number 2, The Golden Pawn. On Golden Pawn. On Golden Pawn, I've never heard of it. At number 2, beating out Superman 2.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, it sort of makes me want to watch it, right? And at number 1, Ivan, with basically double the amount that On Golden Pawn made and double the amount that Superman 2 made. Number 1, a clear number 1, just annihilated the year of 1981. It's the first movie in what would be a franchise.
Mm-hmm.
That's your clue. And it's
Indiana Jones.
yes. Which movie? Here we go.
One.
It's funny because it's actually not called Indiana Jones here. Because I don't think it was called that. It was called something.
Oh.
I'll give you one word. And it's a good word. That way you can string it out.
Mhm.
Raiders.
Of the Lost Ark.
Correct. Number 1, Raiders of the Lost Ark, 212 million.
It was just called that.
Yep.
I don't like it.
And the next one, they're probably like, Indiana Jones.
Too.
What is it? What's the next one? Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
212 million. I think that's like 500 million in today's time. So not like a lot of money, but still a lot of money.
It's a good amount.
And this movie that we're talking about today is History of the World Part 1. This movie made $30 million. So probably it would be in the top 20 if we had the full list right here.
bad.
Not bad. The premise of this movie. Forget reading a history book. Why not watch history?
Okay.
From the beginning of man to the French Revolution, watch as we learn how the history of the world came to be.
Okay.
You like that?
Yeah.
Practiced.
All right.
With a cast of Mel Brooks as Moses, Comicus, Torquemada, Jacques, or how do you say Jacqueus? Jacques? It's like French, right? Jacques?
I guess Jackie.
Jackie. And he also played King Louis the 16th, if I'm reading my Roman numerals correct. So he plays a bunch of characters.
Mm-hmm.
We have Dom DeLuise coming back as Emperor Nero, Madeline Kahn coming back as Empress Nympho, Harvey Korman coming back as Count de Monet.
Nah.
Oh,
That's
dude.
a rapper name.
That's a rapper name.
Count de Monet.
That's like a rapper name for like, what's that guy?
Gidana.
Like, Guap Dad 4000.
Oh.
Like, my name's Guap Dad 4000, aka Count the Monet.
I was thinking like a well-read, aristocratic rapper. Who's like snooty-ish.
Like Triple H. You know Triple H? The wrestler? Before he adopted his like Triple H persona, he was Hunter Herms Helmsley or something. That's why it's like Triple H.
Yeah.
And he was like aristocratic
Really?
gentleman. And then he called himself Triple H and became like a badass, supposedly.
That's funny.
It's weird, right?
Yeah. Did he look?
Yeah. He was like, and he had like the whole outfit and
It's weird history.
wrestling is weird, man.
Yeah.
There used to be a chicken that wrestled.
I believe that.
So the cast is a bunch of regulars coming back for the movie History of the World. And we're going to talk about the movie much more after this quick commercial break, Ivan.
Whoa. Funny.
I know. But you know the
yeah.
producer? I love that tag, though.
I'm done with tags.
I'm not giving more.
I only like metros.
His are...
Metro!
What about his shing?
Well, like with 21?
Yeah. Is that like 21s or is that his and 21s? Or is that his?
It's savage modes.
Gotcha. It's part of that lexicon.
I think so.
That run.
I like it.
Is part of that the universe. The Savage Mode universe.
The musical universe. Wow. Musematic universe. I don't know. Cinematic.
Oh, that's horrible.
Cinematic.
Ivan, History of the World Part 1.
Gotcha.
First time watching this movie?
Yes.
Me too.
Whoa. What's
You know what I like to talk? I like being super mean to Siri.
Yeah, I don't think I have the heart, honestly.
You don't have the heart to do it?
Have you heard this theory where, like, if you're not a part of letting or making a artificial intelligence exist, then when it eventually exists, it's gonna come and kill you?
I
'Cause
haven't
it's
heard of
like,
that.
It could look up everything you've said on the internet, like, because it all. And then right now you're like, I'm mean to Siri.
Oh,
So
damn.
like 50 years, 100 years from now, I'm like, you're mean to my girlfriend,
Right.
and they're gonna kill you.
I haven't heard of that. I've heard of like I read it on IGN, which is so weird. It's like, if we create an artificial intelligence, like a real one, then that means we're in a simulation. Like that for sure means we're in a simulation. And if we don't create it, that means for sure we're not in a simulation. Because of like this calculation this mathematician did. And it was like a real like a real thing. Like
Okay.
like this is actual, like he solved a problem with math that confirms this.
That sounds made up.
I know,
Like
right?
a premise to a movie.
But isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I had a mini panic attack when I read that, and I was like, well, that's sort of creepy.
If it happens, it happens.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. Like, it's going to happen, or it's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Like either someone's gonna make it or they don't. and if we don't, like, global warming is gonna take us out.
Okay, good idea. So first time watching this. Me too. Don't listen to me. Girl whom must not be named. Going into this movie, what did you think about it? What did you think it was going to be?
Exactly what it was.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't think that.
What?
I didn't think it was going to be exactly what I thought it was going
What
to be.
did you think?
I thought it was going to... I thought it was... I thought... Just kidding. No, I didn't think it was going to be a sketch. Like,
oh,
I didn't think it was going to traverse time like it did.
okay, yeah.
But I should have known that. Because it's a sort of like... They go from one era to another era with, like, the same cast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking, like, what if they just... I was thinking, I guess, like, time... Like, there's going to be a through line of a story, but there wasn't, right?
They're kind of doing whatever they wanted to.
Yeah.
There's no law of what things were. Like, at one point, they're like, how'd you get from here to there in this amount of time?
Yeah, that was...
And he's
Yeah,
like,
that happened.
I just did it.
Yes.
And that's like the whole movie.
But yeah, I was like ready for a rip roaring time. You know what? You know that little phrase that people use?
Yeah.
I was ready to rip and roar.
Bust a seam.
Bust a gut. That does sound like a little weird, right? So I was sort of excited.
Okay.
And we've been talking about this one like, this feels like the one.
Yeah.
After watching it, is it the
Boy,
one?
were we wrong.
Oh god.
It was good, but it wasn't the one.
It was fine. It wasn't the one. Actually, I think it was my least favorite one.
Yeah, I don't think it was my least favorite, but it wasn't as good as I was hoping.
Yeah, me neither. We'll get into least favorites later. I really liked the first half of the movie, where so the movie's, like I said, it's a sketch based movie where they jump from time to time, from the beginning of man to the Roman Empire to the French Revolution to the Inquisition. And the first half, which basically consisted of the history of man and the Roman Empire, I thought was really good.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the Roman Empire part, where it's like there is a story there and they're satirizing the time of the Romans.
Yep.
Which I think works really well, because like there's many things in history, or if like in different eras, that you can make fun of because like of the time and place it is, right? Like I'm thinking about the Roman Empire, the idea of like plumbing being new that they were talking about and made fun of. Like, oh, we have this new invention, plumbing. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's actually pretty interesting that like you can make fun of that as being new.
Made me wonder like how it worked back then. Because obviously they weren't like, plumbing, get your plumbing here.
Yeah.
There's
which they
else.
did in the movie, which is funny, but
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I want to know like what was their like organization structure of how they went about doing plumbing. I don't even know how plumbing today works. It just like goes.
God, I think God sets up the pipes and stuff.
Hopefully.
Well, isn't it like that they used to just poop and shit in buckets and throw it outside of their window?
Yeah, I think so. Or like just leave it and cover it up and let it settle.
And that's like how so many people died, because like there's bacteria and people would just get sick all the time.
Yeah. It's weird.
That is one of the things that like why I don't want to go back in time, because obviously I'm going to get that chance, right? But I don't want to go back in time past like the 40s.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't any showers.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in a time where I can smell people.
Even in like, if you were like a high aristocrat or whatever.
I know.
You would have to poop in like a tunnel or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's even like, ugh.
Like I'm watching Bridgerton right now, and we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But this random thought came to my mind where I was like, these people, it's like the 1800s. maybe the rich don't stink,
Mm-hmm.
but at least their servants stink.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm rich, I would want my even my servants to take regular showers.
You sound like a white man right
I went
now.
down that rabbit hole in my brain while
Yeah.
watching this show. That's how my brain works. God damn it. Anyways, so the first half of the movie, I liked it. I like the idea of satirizing, and it works. And I think what helps the movie in the first half is, like I said, the idea that, or the fact that they had a story going.
Yeah.
And then in the latter half, they sort of stopped telling a story and just started making fun of eras.
Yeah.
And I don't think the comedy is strong enough for the movie to work that way.
It was just, since there was nothing tying it together, it was more, like you said, sketchy. Literally sketch, not like.
Yeah.
But it just was hard to make a good movie out of that.
And it would be easy. I think it would be a better movie if it was made today, because the comedy is a different landscape now. You can make more relevant jokes, or jokes that sort of fit the time, because comedy is such a thing about. Comedy is funny because, unlike dramas and thrillers and any kind of movie like that, the dialogue in comedy is really dependent on the time when it was made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to find a movie from the 60s that you'll laugh your ass off. And if you do, keep that one in your like your hard drive or something, whatever you keep your stuff in.
Yeah.
So, and for that fact, I just felt like the latter half was just like, I could do without. It was really crude too. Did you feel that?
A little bit, but I don't care. It's 2021. It wasn't like, my sensibilities.
Not like that, but more like they were being crude and it wasn't funny. Like,
I'd have to see a specific part.
the part I'm talking about specifically is when they jump to the French Revolution and the king is like,
The piss bucket?
that was a little funny.
That was funny.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, then I'm not mad at you.
Shout out to the piss bucket. Piss boy. The fact that, like, anytime the king was seducing a girl, he's like, it's good to be the king.
Oh, yeah.
And just like,
I feel like that was more for, like, the actual actor.
yeah.
Like, let's do this. It'll be funny. And then I get a little boob in my face, too.
Yeah, he that's another thing. I'm like, it's so weird to be an actor.
Like, having to do that. I was thinking, like, you have to fake being mad at each other. And then, like, you actually see them, like a good actor, being mad at you. And you're just like...
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they bring that emotion with them. And then they, like, shoot it back in some way. But it just feels so awkward. Like, he's not actually mad at me, but he is mad at me.
Yeah. Or if you're a really good actor,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, this person's really mad at me. It boosts your performance.
Yeah.
Because you're like pretending to be scared, or you're doing whatever you're supposed to do, right? And you use that flow to flow back.
But it must be hard to remember lines if you're, like, in that emotional state, too. Like,
Yes.
he's yelling at you and you're, like, legitimately scared. But you have to remember to say, like, you're scaring me or something.
Yeah.
You can't be like, cut. I'm scared.
That is difficult. I was thinking too, just like the fact that, like, kissing,
Mm-hmm.
touching, being sexual.
I think only recently they've had, like, I don't know what they're called, but like,
Body doubles.
no, like sex choreographers.
Oh, weird.
So, like, it's them, the director, and the actors in the scene. But, like, back then it was like the whole cast watching you do the scene. And, like, that's a recent development, like, as in, like, probably 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how it went like that for so long before people were like, you know what? We should probably put some rules on this.
And they probably now have like a, not only that, but they also have like an HR type of person.
Mhm.
Like, hey, hands off that.
Yeah.
Hey, watch out with that. Too much tongue. Too much tongue.
Like, that's not in the script. That's not in the script.
Yeah. Like, even if it's in the script, like,
Go by the script.
be careful now.
Don't enjoy that too much.
Whoa, look at those eyes. Hey, whoa. Yes. Like I said, the Roman Empire part. I like how they go to like Caesar's palace
Mhm.
and the idea of like Las Vegas, Caesar's palace.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things to work with right there.
I get the jokes.
I get it, you know.
Get a little funnies.
Mel wrote this movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is the movie where I think he actually wrote it by himself.
Okay.
Are we seeing the fall?
How dare you?
Sorry. I'll stop right there. Are we seeing the fall of Mel Brooks?
I don't think it's like a fall. Just he's just doing whatever he wants, and whatever he wants isn't really. I thought you were gonna make a point. Isn't really like the best movie ideas.
Uh-huh.
But it's not like he's doing it. He's not making bad movies because he doesn't know. It just, I guess it is that. It's not even
Right.
a bad movie, but better than mediocre.
Yes.
But it goes back to like you need that studio reining in occasionally.
I would like him to work. I don't want to see. He's 60 years old, 50 years old by this time. I don't want him to make a movie by himself.
Yeah.
If he
Just-
really wrote this by
yeah.
himself, don't do that.
Yeah. I think just anything you can do.
Yeah.
Unless
true.
it's like literally like a painting where it's something you want to do. But a project is usually for multiple people.
Learn from the great Kanye West,
Exactly.
our Lord and Savior.
Exactly.
Alumni alert to the 10th degree on this movie.
Yeah.
I love actually before we get into that, let's take a quick commercial break and then we'll talk about the cast members really quick.
Mm-hmm.
What if you had like a requirement, like I don't know I forgot what it's
We
called.
do.
There's like a certain word for it, but like I need 5 bags of hot Cheetos
Oh.
and 2 Fiji waters.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What is that called?
I don't know.
I think it's like it's called like the green card. Like
No,
I forgot there's a term for it.
Yeah.
What would your thing be? If like you're getting paid and you're like a professional podcaster and they like, hey Ivan, come into the studio. We're gonna call it
Man.
your list. What's your list?
It would probably be like a good amount of water at least. So like
What brand? They're gonna be like any kind of water. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Hey Ivan.
Hey.
Oh, you're the greatest Ivan. So you're coming on the podcast. We're gonna go to the grocery store, get all the things for the podcast.
Okay.
What's your greener?
Give me a lot of bottled water. Doesn't matter what kind. Just
Any kind of bottled water, that's
yeah,
fine.
Just any.
Okay. Check.
A lot of chicken nuggets from like Chick-fil-A.
When you say a lot, like 20?
I'd say like a family like catering
Like
sorta.
so 50 or more.
I'd like motion like this much chicken nuggets,
Okay.
and then like that's wiggle room. Like if they get too much, like I have chicken nuggets. If they get too little, I'm not gonna get mad. Like if they get this much, that's still a lot.
Okay. So over 50.
At least.
Okay. Chicken nuggets, bottled water. Anything else?
I'd say, I think that's it.
Okay.
Like what else do you need?
Do you?
A masseuse.
A masseuse. You can't
Yeah.
eat a masseuse, damn it.
Oh, well, I thought this was like whatever I wanted.
Okay, we'll get you a masseuse. Do you want it before or after the show? Or during, you sicko.
Before,
Before.
preferably.
Okay. All right. Anything else, sir?
No.
Jesus Christ. All right. See you later. Okay, now do me.
Okay. Hey,
Hey, what's up?
how's your day?
Going good.
What do you want on your list of things we can get for you from the groceries?
Give me a Bang energy drink.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Give me a big bottle of Fiji water, like 2 liters.
Okay.
Give me some hot Cheetos, and I think that's it. 'Cause I just want the food for after, like, you know, like you get the munchies right after doing podcast. It's like, give me something so like when I'm driving back home, I can eat it. And then for the podcast, I just need a lot of water and some
A lot
energy
of
just in
water.
case. Or
And that's
coffee.
like my reasonings too. Like I just want water, so I have water. I
Yeah.
don't have to think about drinking too much or too little water,
Right.
or whatever. And chicken nuggets is like the perfect little foodie that you could just.
And then just take it home to the family.
Yeah.
Like, hey
and
guys, chicken nuggets. They fell for it.
Exactly.
Oh man. There's crazy list out there though.
Yeah.
Like rock stars will be like, we want $1 million. Ryder.
RIDER.
Like Ryder.
Yeah.
Like my Ryder die.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, my Ryder is a Bang energy drink, 2-liter bottle of Fiji water, and hot Cheetos. I like it.
Can they get like toiletries?
Yeah. Mouthwash?
No.
Deodorant?
Something like so I don't have to get it later. Maybe like I don't know, dish soap or just give them my own grocery list.
It just depends on the day. Like,
Yeah.
let me check the fridge to see what's missing. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so we're talking about history of the world. We're talking about the cast.
Mm-hmm.
Mel Brooks, he brought in his friends basically to do this movie with him, and I personally agree with that.
I mean, easier to work with.
Easier
fun.
work with, and it's like the idea of you want to go to work, you want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hire the newest hot actor, hot actress, because, well, he actually does this for this movie. He hires hot actresses because
Well,
it sells.
yeah.
But the other roles, the ones that really matter,
The
he
main
hires his friends.
Yep.
And it makes sense. You want to work with your friends.
Yep.
That's something the great Kanye West does.
Mm-hmm.
So that's someone everyone should do.
Work with your friends.
And what a privilege, too. Like, to be, like, I'm the director, getting all my friends.
Adam Sandler does it.
Adam Sandler does do that.
Probably learn from him
Yeah.
because they're both probably in the same circles.
I'm sure he's a major influence to,
Has to be. He's a modern Mel Brooks.
yeah.
Well, he was a modern. There's no modern one now, really.
Is there a modern comedic director right now?
The only comedic director is that one who did other guys in The Big Short. But he kind of does every actor. He doesn't have like a group.
Yeah. There is a thing about working with new people where you can sort of get new ideas. And maybe that's something Mel's missing here, where like, yeah, you're having fun, you get to make a movie that you like and you're making with your homies, but you're missing something.
I think he just needs like a writer. Like a good writer who can be like working with him.
Right.
Mel does the jokes. The writer does like the overall plot
Story.
and
Uh-huh.
arc in the story. And they just work together.
What is Mel's true talent as a director?
Music.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like the
Like-
musical, the big showpiece?
I think every music he's ever done has been like, wow, this is quality. Like,
Gotcha.
obviously, I'm not going to listen to it.
Right.
But when it's playing, it's like he put work into this or he's
Yeah.
really good at doing this.
Yep, he did. Yep.
I'm
I'm not gonna say I like the musical parts.
right. But it's well made when he
Yes.
does it
Correct.
every time. Just comedy. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
He was collaborative with high anxiety.
Yes, he was.
I think that's because he knew he was like he wanted to really parody it well. even though
Right.
it wasn't like that great of a movie, like
Right.
7-ish. But
Depending on who you ask.
but
High anxiety.
he knows he's a little self-aware, which is like what you need
Yes.
in the shows, because he asked for help. Maybe not with this one, because he wanted to do it for fun.
So, like I said, he has his friends. Why don't these guys get as much recognition as like the Brat Pack?
Because they're old.
You think so?
They're not attractive conventionally.
That
Brat
is what
Pack,
it
they were
is.
like the hottest people in America
At
weren't
that
they?
time, yeah. But it's funny because they only made like a couple movies. But these guys were in the same movie every 4 years, every 2 years.
Shows that like image matters as much or even more than what you do.
What would their name be? The what pack?
I don't know.
The old pack? I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a comedian.
Oh. Grat Pat Lat.
The Mel pack.
Sure.
The Mel pack should have existed.
Yeah.
Let's give the Mel pack some applause. That was so forced, and I even refused to do it, and I love that. Like we said earlier, this is a sketch movie.
Mm.
You don't really see too many movies that are sketch movies, though,
Okay, sorry.
because like it's sort of something that's more common in TV,
Mm-hmm.
where you have sketch comedy shows like SNL, Matt TV, even things like Chappelle's Show, Key and Peele, right?
I don't think movies were made for sketches.
Why? But why doesn't it work?
Because it's like a 2-hour block of time for like a story. Like if I wanted sketches, I think TV works better because it's a little more casual. You could just like watch it with a dumb head. But a movie, you're like, it's an event. You're going. I think I would want a little more formality to it.
Right.
And like formality in this sense is like structure of point A to point B plot. And that's like bare minimum.
Yeah, I think the time makes it so that you sort of want something more long form.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're signing up for something long form, so it should be a longer story.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe when you maybe if you break out a 2-hour thing into segments that are supposed to be stories, it doesn't work as well. Whereas on TV, you have like a 5-minute segment, like 4 or 5-minute segments, and you're done. Just works better on TV, I guess. I was trying to look up like good sketch movies, and I couldn't really find any
Like
that I knew of.
Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
That's a good one, actually.
But it's not really sketches. It's like just
Vignettes.
stories. Is that what?
Is it comedy though?
It's a little more comedic than a regular movie, I would say.
Is it a comedy drama or drama comedy?
Drama comedy.
Did you like that movie?
I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, wow, this is the movie for me.
I want to watch it again.
Like,
When I watched it, I thought it was like okay, but I feel like on rewatch, I'll really like it.
Yeah, I like the stories in it, but I would rather have seen like one movie, even though
Right.
like a movie with that tone, with some of the same characters, one plot.
In regards to sketch movies, like I said, I couldn't really find one. There's Monty Python's The Meaning of Life, which came out like a couple years later, and it's basically like sketches at different points of people's lives and making fun of that.
Okay.
But there are a lot of movies that are based off sketches that have been made.
Oh yeah.
Right? So there's Wayne's World,
Mm-hmm.
Blues Brothers,
Mm-hmm.
Coneheads,
Mm-hmm.
Night at the Roxbury.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the idea of like, I have a sketch show. Obviously, like only 1% of those sketches work,
Yeah.
and 1% or 10% of that 1% are good enough to make a movie out of.
I think that's what SNL's missing,
What?
like making movies out of sketches. But I think that's just because
Well, they do that.
with what?
Like what I just said.
No, more recently though.
Ah.
That like the last one was what 30 years ago.
Well, what they do now is they don't do that. They instead get their people to make their own movie or own show,
True.
but not based off a sketch.
True.
But
But
I think
do, like,
SNL's sort
one.
of dying creatively. That's
Yeah.
probably why.
Well, they had like the same dude since it was born.
Yes, and that's a problem.
They gotta get that guy, fire
But
him out the cannon.
He's like Trump, like you can't get him out.
That's the worst part
So it's just gonna die a silent death.
with the show.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, right?
I don't think like in any job you can be at the top for more than, I don't know, like 10, 20 years. You just like, I think creatively or managerially,
Yeah.
you need the next generation to take over in some way. Like, does he even have like an heir that he's been grooming, or he's like, I'm doing this until I die?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not good. It's not good.
It is sort of like an ego thing.
Yeah.
Ego comes to play. But it's also like, I don't know if this is ego, but it's like, then what am I? If I'm just like, if I only do 10 years and I hand it off to the next person, am I just like the guy that handed it off now? Like, what do I do?
We got to move on.
But what do I do?
Whatever else,
Am I like another show?
if that's what it is.
Hmm.
Maybe just coast, like go to Jamaica, enjoy it for 5 years. Like, okay, I'm done enjoying it. Let me
Live
make a
life,
movie.
right?
Yeah.
You hit the pinnacle.
If anything, it's like fear. Like, if this is the best I can do, why would I ever leave?
Yeah.
And then you're just stuck in
Oh, that's deep.
doing like mediocre,
Yep.
and that's even worse.
Yep.
It's like what, not to get political, but Rudy Giuliani, like it's not the same thing, but he was like super well loved at one point, and now he's like trash.
Shit bucket.
Yeah.
Piss boy.
Yeah.
He's the piss boy.
Just because he didn't call it quits and like, I don't know, do some humanitarian work or something. Like, imagine right after he was like mayor, he like became like the head of some charity organization. He would have been like Gandhi level or around that,
Mm-hmm.
but he lost it.
One thing that has fascinated me that I've like realized in the past 5 years is like, and I think we've talked about it too, how crazy it is. Hold on one second.
Trash.
When I was just a mere
Wee lad.
a wee lad,
Wee lad.
I used to think that like you're always successful.
Oh yeah.
Or at least I never thought of you not like once you're successful, you're always successful. I never thought of like
The
yeah.
greatest lie.
But then as I got older, I'm like, oh, this person used to be cool and now they're not.
Yeah.
And not just like rap, but like even when you look at someone like Trump
Uh-huh.
or like Giuliani, like you said, there's such a arc to everyone's life where you can be at the top, but then you can be at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty crazy.
Also, like, not knowing what is the actual top. I think we talked about this, but like, you could be making with who was it that or
Gene Wilder probably. When we're talking about Grade Ape or something.
something like that. But your top can be something else in 20 years.
Yeah,
No, you
Gene
think-
Wilder.
Yeah.
For yeah.
Even though you think like you're doing your best now.
Yeah.
Like the SNL dude, he could quit and then make the next like Blazing Saddles 2, and it's like the greatest thing ever.
That is that's
and you
true.
never know because he's so scared to leave.
Oh man. Oh man.
It's like,
But you can say that about anything in your own life.
yeah, it applies to everyone.
That's
like
crazy.
I saw on Instagram, like Rock's best moments of like his Instagram story,
Yeah.
and it was him saying like, at 22 I was gonna play for the NFL, but
Yep.
they cut me.
Yep.
It was like the best thing that never happened.
Yep.
It's like that's like proof right there.
Yeah, that is proof.
You don't know what your best is.
Yeah, because if he goes on to play NFL, who knows? Brain concussions.
No, The Rock.
No, The Rock.
He wouldn't be called The Rock.
He would be The Rock. His career would be short, 6 years. Maybe he goes to wrestling. Who knows? But
Shows like the thing you want the most might not be the one thing you actually want.
or even it might be the thing you want the most today, but not like after you fail in it. Maybe there's something else that you like just as much.
Yep.
We're getting deep in this podcast.
Yep.
We're getting deep. Let's go on to categories, Evan.
Yes.
Should I take a quick commercial break just in
No.
case? All right.
No cuts.
Here it is, people. Category time. The best scene in the film, best 5 or 10 minutes of the movie. Ivan, do you have any off the top of your dizome?
Not particularly.
I really like the whole Rome marketplace
Yeah.
scene. Just
True.
like I said earlier, the ideas of like making fun of things of that time that are new. Like, oh, get your columns here. We love columns.
Mm-hmm.
Plumbing, and the idea of like what does an unemployment office look like in that time? Oh, this is what it looks like. Oh, that's hilarious. Right?
Yep.
Caesar's Palace. Oh, that's interesting. Just
Yep.
I like going into that world.
The day-to-day life of
The data. Ivan said it the best. The day-to-day life. Another scene I sort of liked was the Caesar scene, where we're seeing King Caesar, or what is it, Emperor Caesar?
I think Emperor.
The ruler of Rome is the emperor. No, not the emperor.
King.
It's
It's King. Who cares?
They're gonna make fun of us.
No, they won't.
King Caesar is actually a good like Italian rapper name from the 90s.
Sounds like a good lunch.
My name's King Caesar. Welcome to King Caesar. Can I get your order?
Take a King
Sorry,
Caesar.
guys. But I like seeing like I like Dom DeLuise playing Caesar and being like a glutton pig. Just like everything is so boring because I'm so goddamn rich.
It's bad, but you kind of want to experience it, you know? Like not for your whole life, but like when they brought out the bathtub.
Yep.
And then they're like bathing them in gold.
Yep.
Like that'd be a fun story to say. Like
Yeah, that
I
would be
wouldn't want to
fun.
live that way every day, but just say like, yeah, I was in the gold bathtub and they threw gold on me, and that's it. And that would be like fun.
I would like to do ridiculous things with money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't want to be bored by the idea of like everything's so boring because I've done it 2 times already.
Yeah.
But yes, that's cool. I like the scene where Comicus, played by Mel Brooks, and Swiftus, I think it's Ron Carey, in the ancient Rome time when they meet Miriam and Josephus.
Mm-hmm.
Josephus is played by his name is, sorry guys, give me 1 second, Gregory Hines.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually a breath of fresh air for this movie because he's African American descent.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see an African American in a movie when it's mostly white people. And he brings sort of that energy that you would think a Richard Pryor would bring. And we'll get into it later, but Richard Pryor was actually supposed to be in this movie as him.
Makes sense.
But I like them. I like that scene because you realize like, oh, this is gonna be a buddy movie. Like,
Yeah.
this is a group movie. We're gonna go for an adventure right now.
Yeah.
Until they sort of wane off.
Yeah. They don't really use them that much.
Yeah. But I like that scene.
Yep.
And lastly, I like the ending of the movie where they're spoofing like part 2, Hitler on Ice.
The kiss. When they're like, finally, I get to kiss you, like talking to the girl, and then like he kisses the dude, and they're like laughing.
I don't remember. I don't know what that part is.
They're
Sorry.
like driving away, and they're like, finally, part 2. And then he's saying like, now that the
Oh
movie's
yeah,
over,
yeah.
I
Yep.
can finally kiss you.
Yeah.
And then they kiss.
Yes.
And then like you could tell they kind of broke character.
Yeah. That was
Like, nah, you idiot.
and then Jews in Space,
Yeah.
which is hinting on what's next.
Mm.
We'll talk about that in
Juice
a
in
bit.
space.
Grade Ape Award. Ivan, this award is sort of hard because we don't know a lot of the cast here. We haven't seen a lot of the movies,
Mhm.
but we could talk about Mel Brooks. Is this his grade 8?
No.
No way. Has he already reached his grade 8?
What has he even done?
So, Ivan, we've talked about his past movies. You said his grade 8 is Blazing Saddles, right? We're talking about Mel Brooks.
Oh yeah. So far, Blazing Saddles. Yeah.
Culturally,
Culturally.
Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein,
Okay.
and Spaceballs
Mm-hmm.
are the top for him.
Yes.
Comically, I don't think it's Spaceballs. We'll see in the next podcast. We'll talk about that then. But it'll be interesting, just like how we said, Blazing Saddles is probably a better movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Spaceballs is a bigger movie for him overall.
Probably.
We'll talk about that next podcast. Scene Stealer. This award goes to the actress who was in this movie for 10 minutes or less, but stole the movie.
The one like head mistress who had like little quippy jokes.
Yes.
She always had a good joke.
She's a stalwart of the Mel Brooks filmography.
Mhm.
Her name is Madeline Kahn. She's in all the other movies. The last movie she played the love interest in High Anxiety. She was really good in this.
Yes.
I'll rebut that
Whoa.
Scene Stealer
Okay.
with Orson Welles
Oh yeah.
because he's the narrator for this movie.
You cheeky devil.
He
You.
one of the
cheater.
greatest one of the greatest directors of all time was the narrator for this movie.
He played. I think his name is Omicron in Transformers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn. When did he pass away?
I think last year.
No.
No, I don't know.
So who do you give it to? Do I win? Orson Welles
I think
versus
you
Madeline
win
Kahn?
on a technicality.
Yes. Did you know? I changed this category from chit chat to did you know? Did you know, Ivan? Like I said earlier,
Chit-chatting. Not nice.
Roadman.
Too far.
Roadman things.
That's too far.
Richard Pryor was supposed to be in this movie.
You told me.
He's going to play Josephus, right?
Yep.
2 days before the shooting, something happened, though. This is coming straight from Wikipedia. Late in the evening of June 9th, 1980,
Mm-hmm.
Richard Pryor poured 151 proof rum all over himself and lit himself on fire. LAPD reported he was burned by an explosion while freebasing cocaine.
Oh.
So this man grabbed the bottle of rum, poured it himself, said, I guess it's a good idea to do some cocaine right now.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that would happen. Well, like the ignition from a cocaine?
Probably.
I thought like you snore that.
No. Well, like you have fire and you're doused in
isn't that
alcohol.
crack?
What?
Isn't like
Yeah.
crack you smoke it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got to get your drugs right.
He was burned by the explosion. Pryor claimed his injuries were caused by the burning run. While ablaze, he ran down the street from his Los Angeles home until being subdued by police. He was taken to the hospital where he was treated for second and third degree burns, covering more than half of his body. He spent 6 weeks in recovery. And his daughter, Rain, stated that the incident happened as a result of drugs. Psychosis.
Sheesh. That's like a wake-up call, isn't it? If like there ever was one.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're burning alive.
That's scary too.
Did you never knew about that?
Mm-mm.
I heard about that, like, in just, like, from popular culture, watching, like, I Love the 80s, I think, or something like that.
Mhm.
But isn't that crazy? 2 days before, it's like, yeah, I'll be on sale. See you in 2 days.
It's like a weird story to tell Mel. Like, you're not gonna believe this, but he did all this, and he's like, "What?"
Yeah. He did have a sketchy past up until that point, so maybe it wasn't that unbelievable, but it was something horrifying.
It's crazy how much we've changed. Like, if that happened to any celebrity today, they would be like the talk of the town for a year.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have drama like that anymore.
No,
It's just
thankfully
like
not.
Police brutality,
Yeah.
which is worse, I guess. But it was the same thing back then, probably. But now we know about it.
Mm-hmm. Gosh.
Crazy world.
Ivan, let's rank this movie.
All right.
Should I go first?
Sure.
Oh, that hurt. I give this movie.
Australian.
I know, and I don't even know how to get that again.
Australian.
I gave this movie. Is that still
10 out
Australian?
of 10.
I gave this movie 6.5.
Racist.
It's my lowest ranked film. Ivan, what do you give?
Give it a 7.
It's my low. No, I will not. You
No.
drive a hard bargain, but I will not.
I'm.
Oh, you give it a 7.
Yeah.
I thought you said give it a 7. I'm like, whoa.
Give it a 7, Adrian.
Okay, so you give it a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just note that down here. That means your list of Mel Brooks ranks looks like this: silent film 6.5, history of the world 7, 12 chairs 7, high anxiety 7.5, young Frankie 7.8, the producer 7.8, blazing saddles 9.
Correct.
All right, as long as you like that. History of the world for me is 6.5, so we have 12 chairs 6.8, silent movie 7, high anxiety 8. I like high anxiety. The producers 8.2, young Frankie 8.6, blazing saddles 8.6. I like that.
I don't.
I like that. Cool. Mel Brooks. Next movie is Spaceballs. Mel Brooks' next movie is Spaceballs. What are you ready for? What are you expecting? What's going to happen?
Pure, unadulterated perfection.
I thought you were going to say bliss.
No.
I'm ready.
I think this and the movie after are probably going to be like gold. I hope they will be gold.
Well, I've always loved Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I've never seen it.
I saw it many times growing up as a kid. I've seen Spaceballs, but I never seen it like from front to back. Shout out to T.I. If you know that, you know that. If you don't, like Ivan, then get out of here. I think it's going to be... I'm just excited to watch it front to back. It's sad. Actually, I should be shouting out UGK. Do you know
Shut up.
My history, man, it's so deep. Ugh. Can you tell that after school, every day I would go home,
Sadly.
go to samgoody.com, look at the biographies of rappers and the songs they created, and try to piece together the history of hip-hop.
Disgusting.
I love it.
For what? For what? I
To do this right now. To do it right now is what I'm doing.
Jesus
To
Christ.
shame Ivan
Jesus.
and all you hip-hop fans.
It's a good little skill to have, I guess. It's cute.
All right. Well, that is it for History of the World Part 1. We'll be back next week to talk about another Mel Brooks film. But before we go, Ivan, do you want to chit-chat about Roman things?
Okay. If I said no.
This is a little section we like to call
Things and such.
where we talk about random things about this week and things that we notice and things that we like and stuff like that. Ivan,
Yeah.
you have anything for me off the top?
No, just do your whatever.
Let's get into this. DMX, rest in peace. He passes away at the age of 50.
Give us a history. Give us like his impact. Give us his like essence.
I don't want to do what other podcasts
That
have
they
done.
do?
What?
Is that what they do?
Yeah, they try to be like, oh, he was like this. He was like a mix of this and mix of that. Or he was like, He was
Okay, do what you think
I
DMX would want.
So this is actually great because I was just talking about how I used to go home and read
Yeah.
Sanggoody.com, blah blah blah. He released, I think, 3 albums in the span of 2 years that were considered classics.
Hasn't been done for a while.
That hasn't been done. I would argue that hasn't been done by anyone.
True.
And obviously they came out like, well, not obviously, but they came out like in 98 and 99, right?
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know that, but then like when I realized like he made these 3 classic albums, and then I looked at like the release dates, I'm like, "Oh, this album just came out like 3 months after."
Uh-huh.
That's pretty crazy. Like that happens today with people like Lil Baby or
But
Future.
there's not the quality.
There's not the quality.
Like, who can do that if they put their mind to it besides Kanye?
That's a good question.
I don't think anyone. Like Weeknd, he needs the time.
Kendrick
needs
put
to-
out Untitled
True.
and To Pimp in a year span, right? But I think
That was like Lucy's.
Untitled was Lucy's from To Pimp, but it was good quality.
Well, how long was DMX working on the 3? Like, has it been 5 years? And he's like, I need a triple threat.
Well, I think he was he was trying to get in the business like since the early 90s.
Uh-huh.
And then like they finally let him in.
Uh-huh.
And then I imagine he had so much ammunition and he just went
Oh, so he like kind of like Gucci Mane, and then he put his like best together, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I would assume it's something. Well, you can also see a similarity with not content or quality wise, but with
Lil Wayne?
the Baby,
Okay.
where like he's 30 right now, isn't he? Like he's not a young rapper; he's in his 30s, I think early 30s or whatever.
Probably.
So he was trying to get in the business for a long time, and then once they finally let him in, he's like, "Oh, well, here's like 3 albums."
But where's the quality?
And a lot of people liked the first album,
Yeah, I did.
but it waned off because it was like, "Oh, he just
Same.
raps the same song over and over."
Well, tough question, but does DMX do the same? Because I haven't heard the album. Like, can you hear like 3 different, not like completely different sounds, but like different enough where like, I'm trying to see if like
The flow progresses if he
Yeah,
if he
and
grows.
if today's like minds are just fried from like so much content and hearing like the Baby a million times.
Right. I would say that his flow wasn't changing too much from album to album,
Mm-hmm.
but he had different sounding songs on
But
the
they're
albums.
just good.
It was just a good album.
Like if the Baby released 3 good albums
Yeah.
and not just like what he's
Filler.
been doing.
Yeah. So that's DMX. That's my little thing about DMX. Plus, like, he's made hits.
Yeah.
Like, hits.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Party
Yeah.
Up in Here, just like, even though it's so 90s, it's still such a banger.
Correct.
It's slap of the bass.
Indeed.
So there's that. Plus the idea of like the Rough Riders
Mm-hmm.
and Swiss Beats, like him introducing Swiss Beats, like come on. It's akin to Jay-Z introducing Kanye West, but to a lesser degree, obviously.
Way less.
Way lesser, but Swiss Beats is one of the best producers of all time.
Yes.
So that's something.
Indeed.
DMX to you, Ivan.
I just know like
honestly.
a couple hits.
Uh-huh.
I don't have really an attachment to him. Like obviously sad that he died, but it's to me like the sad part is like people like this who are stuck in these loops,
Yeah.
and like you see it with so many rappers, and it's gonna be so bad in like 5-10 years when like the rappers today, I don't think like the Baby, he looks pretty clean, but like I think like Uzi Vert and like it already happened with Juice WRLD, like Uzi tier,
Okay.
Like they're not gonna be okay if they don't get help,
Yeah.
and they're not the type of people who would get help.
Right. Unless like something changes fundamentally in their view.
Yeah, like even like Lil Pump, he's not well, and he's already out.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like he's just, you could tell he's not. He's a little dummy, first of all,
Oh, yeah.
and he's already out. He's not. I don't think he's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like he's out of the culture, basically.
Yeah, and unless he's like investing his money smart, I don't think he is. Maybe he is. But like,
But this is more about drugs.
yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
that
I
still
meant, like,
stands for Lil
loops
Pump.
of
Yeah.
people, like habits,
Yes.
but drugs too. But Uzi doesn't take drugs, but his loop is probably he's gonna get so sad he's just gonna do something bad.
You think Goosey's that kind of guy?
I think he's really sad.
Really?
Yeah,
What makes you think that?
because all he says is like, the only thing that brings me happiness is clothes, and like
Interesting.
the gem. Like no, I don't think any happy person would buy that.
It is true that he does. There are signs, obviously, of like something wrong, but it could. I was thinking more of like he's just different. Like that's what he likes. But I guess like when you do drastic things like that, it is a little.
I mean, there's also, you're kind of right. Like you have hobbies, interests, things that you
Yeah.
love. You could love jewels, I
Yeah.
guess, but none of that would bring you happiness. Like I think happiness
True
is
happiness.
like
Yep.
your relationships and
Yep.
being content with what you're doing in life.
Yep.
And you don't need like any physical thing for that. Besides like, I don't know, a house and a car,
Mm-hmm.
so you can easily live, you know?
Yeah.
But like you just need that base standard of like house, car, relationships, food. Anything else is like,
Plus.
yeah. And so much plus, like Uzi, it feels like he's just using it to like hide something.
Yeah. Like you just made me think of like I try to think of other rappers who seem like happy and they don't need that much attention.
Mm-hmm.
Think about like A$AP Rocky. Like you don't hear too much about him.
He's probably happy.
He doesn't put too much stuff out. He has an album every 2-3 years. That guy must be happy,
Yeah.
right?
And like he's flashy and like
When
a
when he's in
subdued
front.
way.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have the gem. That's like the only thing I want to talk about. The gem.
Yeah, that's sort of obvious. Like, yeah,
But
he
he
doesn't
wears,
have
like-
a diamond that's worth $20 million on his forehead.
He wears designer clothes, but that's because he has to, because he's a rapper and that's like his brand.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need the $1 million gem. Uzi didn't need that either. He just wanted that for himself.
And he doesn't have like tattoos all over his face.
Yeah, he has tattoos of like what he
Like,
wants.
is Post Malone happy?
I think so.
I think he's happy now.
Yeah.
He's so rich, probably, huh?
Yeah. Well, there's like one song where he's like, I got $1 million and like, that's it. So it shows like he already has that little bit of self-awareness where he's like, he knows these
Yeah.
things won't bring him happiness.
I loved his Nirvana performance.
I didn't see. Oh, wait. I think I did.
Just the fact that he did it and he's like, I can do this.
Yeah.
I wish he did like some kind of rock.
I don't, have I told you my like hot take about him? I think I have.
I think you have, yeah.
Like he's probably like the next Kanye or something.
Oh.
I don't think
I don't believe those takes because your Lil Nas X one isn't working so well.
That's still possible. He's gonna be like,
Who is?
Lil Nas X.
Okay.
I'll go to the post in a second. He's gonna be like he's gonna be his own thing, but like a manufactured Drake, Kanye, insincere sort of thing, where it's like
Of rap or of
rap.
pop?
of pop rap.
'Kay.
Like he'll make these hits, but they're not gonna hit you like a good Kanye or a Drake song.
Ah, gotcha. So
They'll
what is
hit.
his main worth? Is it just that, or does he have like a show?
His worth is his knowledge of working the system.
Gotcha.
which is a little trash, but it's like that's like the insincere part. But
I don't think he really cares about music like that. I think I heard him say, like, I read something where it's like, if this doesn't work out, I'll just be a model or something.
yeah, I think like he just it's like going back to happiness, like being happy doing whatever you do. He probably he likes doing music, he likes doing modeling, he likes that. Well, that's kind of like what you do, what I do. Like you dabble in whatever, you're happy. Like you would be happy as a director, you'd be happy as like Van Gogh or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's like the goal of happiness, like being happy doing whatever. And I think a lot of people can do that, but they're a little too stuck on like, no, being the greatest rapper is the only thing that's going to make me happy.
Which it won't,
Yeah.
because there's nothing like the
You can't-
greatest. There's
yeah.
not a pinnacle ever,
No.
unless you're Kanye.
Exactly.
Post Malone.
Oh, I think he's going to carve his own lane in some way, but I think he's going to be like a big figure. He already is, but like he's going to be here to stay for a bit.
In like, is he gonna change his trajectory? Like, is he still gonna stay in like the R&B rap, or is he gonna? I hope he
I
just
think he'll
switches
branch.
it.
Yeah, I think he'll switch whenever he feels like I could see like his next album just being rock, like straight.
Yeah, because I feel like his last records are R&B rap because that's what's in and that's
Mhm.
what's gonna make him money. But I think he's at a point where he's so rich where he's like, okay, now I can make what I really want. Country, rock, ish.
But I just hope it's like The Weeknd did that, right? But
Uh-huh.
I don't think he really is branching out. He just kind of
Wait, what do you mean The Weeknd did that?
like sold out and then sold out in quotes,
Uh-huh.
and then he could do whatever he wants. I don't think he's doing whatever. I think
He's definitely not doing whatever he wants. Yeah.
He's kind of still trying to play that mainstream.
Yeah, I think he's trying to, like how you said, he's trying to find a way to do both. And I think this last album was his
Yeah.
closest.
To doing both?
Or was it start? No. Yeah, I think this last album was the closest he's gotten to doing both. Because I think what he really likes, and I know this for a fact, he really
Oh.
likes stories.
Okay.
Because he loves like sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
He loves movies. But he was trying to do that in music form,
Mm-hmm.
like with his album Kissland. But there wasn't any bangers on that. It was too
Okay.
slow. It was too like story emphasis on it.
Okay.
So now he's like, how can I do the story part but still make good music?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I'm just going to make good music
Put
and
a
then-
story on it.
and put a video on it and tell stories that way.
Oh.
Which I think is a much better way to success
So
for him.
He's still not there yet, technically.
He's still not there yet. Where he needs to perfect it is like, I need to make a concept album
Uh-huh.
that is a concept album through and through, but still has bangers.
So like Good Kid, Mad City.
Like Good Kid, Mad City.
So he wants that.
He wants that.
I think that's like Good Kid, Mad City is like the perfect example of what music can do as far as rap.
It's an amazing album. The fact that his lead single, Drink,
Which one?
is it called Drink? No,
Swimming pools?
Drink.
Swimming pools.
Swimming Pools, became an anthem, and people thought they were singing like,
Yeah, shots.
Yeah.
Shots.
but it's actually a message song
Uh-huh.
that's in an album that's a concept. It's
Yeah.
just perfection.
That's tough. And then The Weeknd wants that. But I don't know.
That's an extremely hard thing.
He needs
If he should try to do it, but if he can't, just do what he did in this last album and keep doing that.
true.
Make the videos that tell stories, but make the songs the songs.
You should work with like a writer, like Aaron Sorkin or something.
That
And
would
then
be so weird.
Get the movie plot.
That can't work. Not
and
every
then work with Daft Punk to cut it up, the movie plot, right?
Okay.
So it's like first you go with the writer, top writer ever, Aaron Sorkin. You go with the top music movie person, Daft Punk.
But why are they top movie.
Okay, who can? Well, they worked with each other already, so it's like
Uh-huh.
they have that little connection.
Okay.
But what other music
Who knows?
movies who can cut it up into like an album?
That's actually a weird combination. I don't know.
Daft Punk.
But they don't know any. They've never made a movie.
But they've made the Daft Punk soundtrack, and it like
Okay,
perfectly
that's
works.
what you're saying.
Oh, you didn't. Okay,
Gotcha.
my apologies.
I get you.
So they have
Pharrell
I think he just
soundtracks.
will work with Pharrell too.
'Kay.
But not like strictly with Pharrell. Get like Pharrell, Daft Punk, Weekend in a Room.
Okay.
Cut up Ari Sorky's little
That's
thing.
so hard. You're just. I don't know how they could do
Well,
that.
it's hard, but maybe that's what it takes.
He needs to work with Kanye as a producer.
I don't think anyone can work with Kanye anymore.
I know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Kanye, and he needs like a idea director, not a dialogue-y director.
Yeah.
Aaron Sorkin, come on.
What, Zack Snyder?
Oh God, that sort of fits his
With,
sensibilities, but
Taiki. Waititi.
no, it's too funny. I think he needs your other guy, Denise.
Oh, nah. Or James Gunn. Because I'm thinking you need someone a little musical, and both of those directors are musical.
But you need someone with what Weekend wants to talk about. He loves Blade Runner.
Then,
He loves sci-fi stuff. That's why I'm saying Denise.
No, then you need Taiki, because he was a little sci-fi in Thor 3.
But he's just satirizing that. He didn't actually make the tech stuff. He made the comedy stuff.
I don't think Denise would be a good fit. I think he's a little too
Serious?
old. Yeah,
Oh.
serious. I don't think he has that musicalness to him.
Nolan
Get Nolan out of here.
Nolan loves music. He loves his soundtracks.
Yeah. True.
He needs to come up with the idea of the story that him and Weekend need to story map his story, right?
Yeah.
Now he just needs Hans Zimmer to be like, this is how you
Yeah.
make music tell a story.
Yeah.
And then you get your regular
that's
guys,
true.
Daft Punk and the Max Martin, whoever
Okay,
makes.
yeah. Okay.
Right?
Nolan and Hans, so they can work on like the little story beats, and then once they have the 3-minute little sections, they get Daft Punk and Kanye and Weeknd working together on making the musical part of it.
Yep.
And that's how you do it. Just get the top people in the world.
Okay, not only are Ivan and I cinematic universe creators,
Yeah,
but we can help any aspiring music
musician.
talent.
Or musical directors.
We're musical directors, basically. So hit us up, Peliculas with the Bros, and you know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan.
Yes.
Well, rest in peace, DMX, right?
Yeah, that was a weird.
That was a really weird segment. Quickly, Bridgerton, watching that right now.
What is that?
It's a Netflix show. Have you heard of it? Netflix show based in the 1800s, 1700s England. You're dealing with like a bunch of royal people, and there's it's like a love interest between a black guy and a white girl, but they sort of flip it because like they're not saying like in that time people were racist. They're just saying like, oh, that's the normal thing. So that's the sort of like skew on reality. So it wasn't like that back then, but they're making it like, and it's made by Shonda Rhimes. You know her? She made Grey's Anatomy and a bunch of those shows.
Yeah.
She signed an exclusive deal with Netflix. Blah blah blah. The show gives me reminiscence of West Wing because she really likes Aaron Sorkin. So I feel like there's like that.
Walk and talk.
There's and then it's really well executed. It's like they put a lot of money into it. It's a really colorful show, so I'm liking it. But it's a really girly show. So the reason I'm watching it is because I know Tanya, my lovely fiance, will love it, and she was really opposed to the idea because she doesn't like old movies
Yeah.
or shows set in those times, which is such a weird thing. Like, I can't watch anything set in that time. I'm like, no, you have to watch this. And now she likes it.
Okay.
Well, should you watch it? I wouldn't say watch it, but I would say watch the first episode,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's like something that you would never watch, and it's good quality.
Okay.
Like, no, you don't like that kind of stuff,
Mhm.
but this is the best that can get.
Gotcha.
That's that. Food Wars. Have you heard of that
Is that anime?
anime?
Heard of it.
It's
I think I've
so
seen, like,
weird,
one
dude.
episode.
What?
Yeah.
I love it because it's so hilarious that the girl ate something that gave her an orgasm.
Yeah.
She's like, ah!
Makes you want to try the food a little bit, huh?
Oh, yeah.
And it looks so like,
Yes.
because I think I've seen 2 episodes or 1.
Yep.
But it's like so perfectly drawn and but like amazingly cute.
Yes.
Delicious.
And I would say it's a comedy anime
Yeah.
before anything. And I love how they're satirizing the anime genre because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
Over the
chef is like all super actiony, but he's
Mhm.
just cooking.
Yeah.
You know, I love that. Watch Food Wars if you can.
I'm tired of anime.
I'm not. I'm trying to get back into it, and that kind of thing is like different than like
Yeah.
Naruto. So, I listened to Brockhampton, and
You
I finally
trash.
recognized what it is. They're basically a mix of Odd Future,
Yeah.
Frank Ocean,
Yeah.
and ASAP Mob.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're as good as any of them, or I would say they're as good as Odd Future actually, because Odd Future collectively weren't ever that strong.
Yeah.
But it's like different kind of rap,
Yeah.
and I think that's something you've looked for, even though it's not like pristine quality
Mm-hmm.
and not well executed to the 10th degree,
Yeah.
because their music's really like a hodgepodge. It reminds me of like,
Like a mock compilation sort of.
yeah, but I think that's what they're going for.
It's different. Like I only don't like listening to them because their fan base is weird.
Like rarely what?
Like a little too like Brockhampton.
Yeah. I like how I didn't know this, but they market themselves as a boy band.
Yeah. That's weird.
And
Not bad weird, just like all right.
how many members of their group is gay?
It's like half. Isn't it like 1?
I think there's at least 2.
2 of them.
And I guess it's just interesting, but it's like it's interesting, I guess. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I wish I was like in it from the beginning to be like, okay, they're actually not that good.
I was, and I chose to opt out.
Click. You said, I'll turn that
I
to you,
listened
yo.
to the album before Saturation 1.
Ginger?
It was
Iridescence?
no, Saturation 1 is the one that got him.
Oh, okay, I don't know. Yep.
I listened to that and I was like, not in.
Yeah.
And then Saturation 1 got big. I was like, dang it.
You act like it's Bitcoin.
A little
I'm on
bit.
the ride, baby.
And then since then I was like, I'm not in this anymore.
Oh, that's hilarious. Lastly, unless you have anything else.
No.
Sports. I love how it's taken over my life recently.
Football?
So I'm watching Lakers
Okay.
on the reg.
On the reg?
I'm watching like highlights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the my team from England, Chelsea, who's killing it right now.
All right.
I'm watching my team from Spain, Barcelona,
Mm-hmm.
who's they're doing okay. They just lost El Clásico, which is sad, and I'll talk about it another time. And Padres, baseball season's up, so I'm trying to keep up with the Padres.
It's tough.
I love that I'm giving myself so many things to watch, which I know I shouldn't. But I love how like I am keeping up with stuff, and it's like, did they win?
Mm.
Did they lose? It's just another thing like to know. But I don't know why I'm happy about that.
Have knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't know. I only wanted to get into basketball because, like, I think that's the only thing that would make money in some way.
Yeah, and it's
Most culturally relevant.
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 The Revenant. It's a good
It's
movie
most
too.
Culturally the reverent.
It is. It's like the top. It's hip hop.
Yeah.
It's hip hop.
But then I'll get into it and I'll be done like hip hop is now.
You could, yeah. it's funny because like in Quavo is like owns the NBA right now
What?
because his song comes on every commercial.
What song?
Um,
Where's Hashim
bag
Singh?
alert, major bag alert.
Really?
Do you know that song?
I think it would have to be sung well, and then I would know it.
Bag alert, major.
I don't know.
He's just the best, Quavo. Shout out to Quavo.
Culture 3 soon?
Yeah,
Pro-
Drake. Oh, let's not talk about that. Drake is gonna be on Drink Champs. Do you know what Drink Champs is?
No.
It's Nori. You know Nori? Nori has a podcast called Drink Champs.
Who's Nori?
Nori is one of the biggest rappers from the 90s.
Is that his whole name?
Yeah,
I've never heard.
that's so crazy.
Does he have a hit?
He has like he has like 2 big hits and then a bunch of little hits from the 90s and early 2000s.
Nori?
I'll play a song when we finish the podcast. Drink Champs is a podcast that Nori hosts and it's a big podcast now because he gets a bunch of big people and they tell all the dirt that like they've never done.
Oh.
Like Cameron talks about his beef with Jay-Z, which he's never really done publicly and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So Drake's going to be on Drink Champs. The idea is like, and on Drink Champs, they drink a lot.
Oh.
Like shots. Like shots. All right. They tell a story. All right. Another shot.
Oh, God. And Drake has little juicy secrets, don't he?
So
Okay.
he's going to be on Drink Champs.
When?
I think it's going to come out within the next week or 2.
Okay.
So you know an album's, it's there.
Yeah.
The album's coming.
It's been so long.
It's been so long.
Like what? Laugh Now, Cry Later was like half a year ago?
It's, yeah, at least 5 months, 4 months.
Lead single?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But
Yes.
I'm ready for this podcast.
Yep.
I know you'll finally learn about Nori. I think you'll like Nori. He's a great guy. Shout out Nori if you're watching. And we'll learn about Drake, a little bit more about Drake that you never learned. Hopefully he opens up a little bit.
I think he will. He's been a little bit more ever since Pusha T kind of destroyed him. He's been like a little more like open with what he's.
And I think Drake should be that way because he should recognize that now in the time that we live in, that's what is most valuable. Honesty.
Transparency. True. Very true. Like, I don't think there's anything Drake could admit where I'll be like, I don't like this Drake guy anymore.
Well, just to give you a tease of what could happen, Nori interviewed DJ Drama. You know DJ Drama?
I know the name.
Jesus, Ivan. And then he asked
It's a DJ.
is it true? He's like, he didn't even say is it true. He said, so Drake smashed your girl. and then Drama's like, yep, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was common knowledge, I guess.
What's this? DJ Drama? Okay, never mind. Go.
And he's like, is that why? Is that what gave you the reason to give the reference songs to Meek Mill? He's the one. DJ Drama's the one that gave the Quentin Miller reference to Meek Mill, and that's when Meek Mill went cray.
Oh.
And why? Because Drake smashed his girl.
Oh.
So these are the kind of things they talk about, and Nori can do that because he has that rep to be the one to ask.
Oh.
Where like,
I mean,
what's the other guy that no one likes?
Joe Budden?
No. Well, maybe that's true, but
DJ Academics.
yeah, like DJ Academics could never ask that to DJ Drama because he would be slapped in the face.
Yeah.
But Nori's like
He's
one of the
respectful, I think, probably.
He's not respectful, but he's respected.
Okay.
He's like an OG.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
get ready. Notes. Take notes. All right, people. This was another great episode of Peliculas with the Bros. We'll be back next week with another episode. Please leave a comment, any comment you want to let us know that what we're doing you like. Give us ideas. Hit us up. We'll respond back. We appreciate you listening to or watching, however you're doing that. We're on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, all major podcast platforms. We're on YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And we'll be back next week went country on you. Ivan, any parting words?
No.
All right, people. Have a great rest of your week. Peace out.
Bye.